Yo, JD here, Limitless, and as you can see, back on F1 2021 as always. And in today's video, this is actually a race that I thought I lost and I didn't actually record because this is from ORL. This is the Suzuka race that I did a couple of months ago, and my stream, well, not my stream, but the game had so many issues with the safety car and everything that we decided not to stream, and then it was decided that the race would actually continue. So this was actually off stream, and I luckily recorded this race. So this is a one-shot qualifying around Suzuka against Esport drivers such as Daniel Haddad and other upcoming potentials such as the FES guys, Sven Zerner, and I really had not prepared for this at all. I think the race before this was actually Portimao, which the game was having a lot of issues with that, so that race got cancelled, but we actually decided to just try this race anyway, and this race actually did count. So you can see here, not a great lap so far, and again, this is like a couple of months ago, so I was still getting used to the PC life and how the game felt, because it does feel very, very different across all platforms, because I actually do play on all platforms including PlayStation now, so I will be doing open lobbies there very soon, and if you click that join button, become a YouTube member, you will get a first priority invite for that. And that also leads me to say thank you very much for some very new extra rotation members who I'll give a shout out. Joe Arujo, F1, Ray Meader, Edvards Vanags, Yamino number 1, and New Era JH. Thank you very much for joining the extra rotation club. But yes, I will be on platforms, all platforms very, very soon. But moving back to this lap itself wasn't particularly great at all. You can see there's still quite a lot of time left on the table. I wasn't really expecting to do this race after it was announced we wouldn't, but you can see that was enough for, I believe, P5 on the grid that we are about to see. And this is against some very, very good competition as well. And that was actually P6. So 4 tenths away from Daniel Haddad, who got a podium here last year in F1 Esports. So this is a track he definitely does like. And I think there was definitely 4 tenths within that lap where I could definitely see it. So I was actually feeling quietly optimistic. So we line up on the grid. This is a 25% race. I have a bit of a different format in the ORL League, which I will be streaming this weekend on Sunday on YouTube here. So this is the formation lap, all starting on the soft tyres. And I think it's like a 13 lap race. So you can see Sven Zerner, my ex-F1 Esports teammate, actually ahead of me. And the FES guys, Zeal, who I think is probably the fastest one, is right up there with Daniel Haddad. So waiting for everyone to get back to the grid. We're going to be showing the full race here. So we've got 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights here. Let's see how we can do against this level of competition. And we get such a good start. You actually get such a good start. We had to avoid the Mercedes actually banging the wall, thinking that I might have got damaged, but we're up into P5. So a very, very good start so far. And this is actually a team-based championship, so it's all really about the constructors for this. So it's a good position for us at the moment with my teammate Sven Zerner. And yeah, now it's just about settling to the rhythm of the race. But as I said before, I hadn't really done that many laps on Suzuka around here on PC, or was really used to the setup that I was actually running, as you can see at the start of the video. But you will see throughout this, we actually got used to it pretty quickly. And I think with my driving throughout the years, I tend to actually perform a bit better when the competition is even higher and there's a little bit more pressure. It actually pushes me to that extra percent to perform and deliver. And I think that's exactly what was happening here, because I knew everyone in here is of a very, very good caliber. Obviously, people like Daniel Haddad, a current F1 Esports driver, Zeal, who's in second, Sven Zerner, who came P3 in the very first F1 Esports ever, and a lot of guys here who I know are trying to get in F1 Esports. I know this would be a very, very good benchmark for me to see where I am at on the PC platform. So you can see Daniel Haddad is leading this race, and my goal was to really try and get a podium against this level of competition. I think we were very, very close to doing that in the race before this at China, which I have uploaded, showing the true pace of an F1 Esports driver, I believe that's called, and that was a very, very good insight into how fast these drivers are. And you can see at the moment we're dropping off a little bit off the back of Sven Zerner, but I believe the setup I was running, even though it was 9.7 wings, was actually a little bit low on the downforce side. I think I was very, very fast in a straight line again, whilst people like Haddad were very, very fast in the corners. So you're about to see in a straight line throughout this race, we're actually very, very competitive, which means we have to try and keep the momentum up going through corners such as this going into spin, which I have to say I absolutely love. I really love pretty much almost every corner on this track. It is definitely one of my best tracks, not only in raw pace but in terms of enjoyment. I really do like driving around this circuit here. So you can see we've still got a good amount of ERS on the board, right in the middle of no man's land. So 6 tenths to Sven, 6 tenths to the guy behind in the Ferrari, and manages to navigate the chicane. That guy in the Haas makes a bit of a mistake, and he actually goes in for a very aggressive strategy. 30.6 for Haddad. We do a 30.7, so our pace is actually... I was actually quite surprised that we were in quite strong form, and now we're actually closing in on our teammate Sven Zerner. So at this stage, I was a little bit surprised with myself that I'm actually delivering quite a good speed. You can see going through the corners, you can see this is where he actually pulls away a little bit, but then towards the end of the lap we actually start to drag it back. And if you keep an eye on that delta on the top left, you'll see the straight line speed I think was definitely better. But it's through corners such as this, if we can match him going through the corners, then we're in a really good position, and we're actually quite close to the leaders, so we're not actually letting them get away at this stage. So yeah, when this happens and you surprise yourself a little bit and you're keeping up with some very good competition, this only fuels the confidence. And I've said it many times before, when you reach a certain level, it really is about the confidence. If you have that confidence, you're going to be much more relaxed, you're not going to make as many mistakes, and you're going to be driving much closer to your potential, rather than if you were just feeling anxious and tense all the time. You can see we've actually managed to get out of the DRS zone off the guy behind, almost losing it through here. So it really is a slow speed where the set. My teammate actually decides to pit, but we do have the benefit of the DRS. Haddad does a 30.0 now, and the gap is 2.5 seconds. So let's keep an eye on that gap. So now this will give us a real indication of what our pace is actually like here. So going through this first section, I expect him to be pulling away slightly. You can see that gap has gone up now to almost 2.6 seconds, and it has gone up to 2.6 seconds. But then through sectors 2 and 3, this is why I felt we were driving very well, and we were probably the strongest car on track in these sectors. So this is going to be a really good benchmark to see how competitive our pace is. We're still keeping... Well, the guy behind the Ferrari has gone for an undercut as well. Now we got Biao, if I can say it correctly. Another very, very fast driver with Zeal up ahead, who I believe is probably the fastest driver I've seen in the ES team. But you can see the gap is 2.4 seconds, so we've actually closed in 2.3 seconds. So we're actually closing in on these leaders at the moment. And you will see down the straight, we're using a lot of ERS because I wanted to try and potentially overcut my teammate, because the softs are actually quite a good tie around here, and just in general. And we've actually closed the gap on this lap here, so we've done a really, I feel, a decent job with the pace. Haddad continues, Zil pits, so we follow him in, and 1 kilometer short of getting a penalty, so that was absolutely perfection. unnecessarily, because I didn't know exactly where to brake. Mainly a gut instinct, but we managed to actually do it quite nicely. And yeah, this race wasn't streamed. I wasn't streaming in this race. You can see I'm not talking or anything at all because I'm just recording it. I wasn't streaming this at all, which was a bit of a shame. But luckily I did record it, and we've actually managed to do the overcut on my teammate Sven Zerner. So we've managed to make it work. And we've got within the DRS zone of Zeal because of that pit entry. And now the virtual safety car has actually come out. So we really made that strategy work. And we're in a net P3 at this stage. And this is what I wanted. At China, I missed out very, very closely on a podium in this league. And I really wanted to get a podium against this level of competition. Daniel Perez wasn't racing in this because I think F1 Esports was literally a couple days afterwards, so he decided to miss this race. But still, the competition, I was really, really eager to try and prove myself in a way. But this virtual safety car has fallen into the hands of Haddad a little bit. Since the cars are going slower, they're not going to be catching as quickly. So he's going to make his overcut work more than nicely. He should come out actually multiple seconds ahead. But I'm just trying to close in on Zeal. I was trying to get within his DRS zone here, but I think he could tell I was using my battery power. But right now, we're in a net P3, and I would have been extremely, extremely happy with that at this stage here. So coming out the pits here, let's see where Daniel Haddad is. And you can see he's already gone through turn 1. So you can see now he's 3.1 seconds ahead. And now the safety car, the full safety car, has actually come out now. So we're going to have to wait around again as we're going to skip towards the end of this lap because safety car's still out for another lap. As Jeff is just telling me what's going on. So someone pits who was staying out, but then my teammate decides to box as well for a set of softs. So I said the softs are very, very good around here. And he's going to try and bulldoze his way through the field on those soft tyres. So that's something we have to watch out for. But this is still a Constructors' Championship, really. So I'm in a really good position at this stage. I was very, very happy to be in this position. So as the safety car is coming in at the end of this lap, I just wanted to try and hang on as much as possible. And again, just to see if I can hang on. Because again, I wasn't really that experienced on PC at this stage here. And especially with this track as well. So I was very, very happy here. As we managed to catch Zeal a little bit napping here. So with this straight line speed, you can see we're both using overtake. We are definitely the faster car in a straight line. Can we go around the outside of turn 1? No, we can't do it. So live to fight another day and slotting in between the two FES teammates here. And now the job is just to try and stay as close as I could. I wanted to see how close I could stay with Haddad, who is 1.1 seconds ahead. So it's really through this section as well. I'll be losing a little bit of time. But through sector 2 and 3, I think we should be quite strong. So just trying to get a good exit coming off here now. As Jeff just does not stop talking. He drives me absolutely nuts sometimes. But my teammate is coming through the field as well. I think he's also going to try and get the fastest lap of the race. So I was just very content in staying within the DRS zone of Zeal, where he runs a little bit out wide here. Can we get a good exit? Let's see what our straight on speed is going to be like as we're using all of our ERS now. And you can see we are gaining ever so slowly, but then we decide to turn it off because the DRS is not going to be enabled really until the last lap of this race. Going through the chicane, it's a slow speed where I definitely struggle with the most, managing to navigate that nicely. And Haddad is now 1.5 seconds, so 29.6. We do it at 30.5. So we'll keep an eye on this gap. Let's see how much it does extend. So going through this section, this is where I really need to try and keep the momentum up as much as possible. You really don't want to be kissing these curves because they will spit you out very quickly. And it's going through here. This is definitely where the setup was lacking a bit of downforce. But once I make it through this section, then through the second half of the lap, this is where we actually come into our strengths a little bit more. So half a second up on my fastest up I've done so far as another safety car now comes out now. And yeah, these are the issues we were having on PC. The safety car just comes out all the time, and it just really just doesn't want to work as well. So safety cars coming in this lap, back in the same position. That means we're not going to have the DRS at all for the rest of this race, because it needs 3 laps before the DRS is enabled. So I'm really trying to warm up my tyre as much as possible. Let's see if I can catch Zeal a little bit napping once again. And Haddad has already gone, so this time I'm not going to be able to be close enough. Luckily, I have no threat from behind. And Zeal, I think, is going to try and make the overtake on the Haddad down the inside. Is he close enough? No, he isn't going to be close enough. But then my teammate on the softs, the brand new softs, is right behind me now. And this is for a team championship. But I really wanted this podium in this league. I haven't had a podium yet in this league. I've been so close. I think I've had quite a few 4th places. Because there's always been Zeal, Zerner, and Haddad finishing ahead of me. But I really wanted it so badly. So I'm actually going to fight for this quite hard here. So coming through into here, see, Sven is closing up quite quickly. But the good thing in my favour is that I'm on 100% ERS. And there is no DRS enabled for the rest of this race because of the safety car. So you can see he's closing into me quite quickly. But we do have some very good straight line speed. The gap is 1 second to Haddad. Let's see what that is towards the end of the race. So coming through into here, I'm going to use a little bit of the overtake now just to try and put a little bit of distance between myself and him. And you can see our straight line speed is very strong. We've actually got it under a second to Haddad now. And we have more than enough ERS to use for the last lap of the race. But we actually go in very deep into this corner. So that's a crucial mistake we've made there. Now we've got to try and get against it. He's right behind me. Then that does a 29, but then Svenzer does a fast up race. We go very defensive. He tries to go around the outside, but our straight line speed is just too much. He's trying to go down the inside here. Don't want to be making contact with teammates. That's a rule you really don't want to break. And we live to fight another day. But he's going to be absolutely hounding me through this first section. But if we can keep up this momentum until the back straight, I believe we had a little bit more straight line speed, more than enough straight line speed. And with the understeer, he's not actually close going through into this first section. We decide to cut that corner because I had really no warnings at this stage. So I kind of had a free pass to just try and maximize the gap as much as possible. Coming through into here, trying to get a good exit. This is really, really crucial now. Using the overtake, and again, he's not close enough. And the gap is about 1.3 seconds to Haddad here. So coming through into Spoon, one of my favourite corners to drive on the game, trying to get a good exit. And we do get a pretty good exit, actually making up time on the top 2. Let's see here, and I don't think he's going to be close enough. He is closing ever so slightly, but with our straight line speed, we are closing in on leaders as well, and he is definitely not going to be close. So going through this chicane, can we do it right this time? Yes, we do, just taking it very, very cautiously. Coming across the line, we're going to finish in P3 in this league, and I really, really wanted that. And yeah, it's a shame that race was at stream, because I think it would have been a very good watch, but I was very happy that I've managed to find this recording. So I hope you enjoyed that. I was very, very happy with the performance I did there against this caliber field. Thank you so much for the support on my channel. And make sure you become a YouTube member for first priority invite for open lobbies on all platforms now. So PC, Xbox, PS4, and also my one-to-one coaching. If you are a YouTube member, you will be getting a very nice discount when that gets released, which is very soon, which I am very excited for. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed F1 Esports earlier, and I will be catching you very, very soon. Peace.